list, the pros and cons of sleeping with a pet. Go back in time to visit the Titanic and why this martial art was disguised as a dance.
It's a move that goes one side to the other side.
Plus,
what do we have here?
Camarones, shrimp.
up your board game with a Mexican-style charcuterie.
Make sure that they get it nice and crisp.
But up first, how to build unity and empower your community. It's your life, it's your list, and it starts right now.
Hey everyone, I'm Jimmy Rhodes. You know, most of us like the idea of making a difference in the world, but as one person, it's hard to know where to begin. Well, Christina met an activist who says every small step we can take can make a huge difference. And that's our featured story at the top of the list.
A wise man once said,
"With great power comes great responsibility."
Okay, it was Uncle Ben from Spider-Man, but still, we as individuals have the ability to harness our power to accomplish big things. But how do we use it?
I'm not alone in seeking something more, but we haven't been asked to do very much in terms of the direction of our society. So I want us all to find that power that we have. So we're the ones shaping it and not just being shaped by it.
Baratunde Thurston, activist and host of the How to Citizen with Baratunde podcast, talked with us about the power of power and how we can use ours to empower our communities.
My idea of a powerful community is a community that knows itself, one that knows its power and is really clear about how it's using it. We as a community are deciding this is the type of food we want to eat. This is the type of economic activity we want. This is the experience we want to have for ourselves and for our children.
Baratunde's first point is that there is immense power in what we give our attention to and what we choose not to. This is called the power of information.
What do I think is good? What is worth pursuing? When we bring consciousness to it and when we decide this is what matters to me, then our decisions are more informed.
Using your power of information can mean anything from spreading the word about local charities to putting up flyers to holding a protest.
You can generate power. Look at Taylor Swift's fans. They felt powerless against Ticketmaster for a moment, and then they were at the halls of Congress peacefully, and there might be some legislation that comes out of that. But any individual Swiftie may not have felt that powerful. It's together when they become Swifties that they can shake a nation.
Another way we can use our power to empower our community is through the power of finance, how we choose to spend our money.
What's important to you? If sustainability of the environment and air quality and climate change are important to you, then you're going to want to buy something you can reuse as opposed to a single use. Making that decision with that awareness, bringing those values into those financial choices, that's a great exercise of power.
Finally, we create unity and strength in our communities with the power of participation. Play your part.
It's the idea, the experience of being with another human being, working toward a shared outcome. Some folks get it on a sports field or a court, or a local church is always looking for someone to step up. There's public comments at the council meeting. Go and just hang out.
And the participation helps write a powerful story.
If we tell ourselves we're divided, we tell ourselves we're powerless, we will be divided and powerless. If we tell ourselves we're part of something greater, that we're stronger together, that our best days are still ahead of us. And so I want us to tell ourselves better stories of our power and to drive the direction of our communities, not just be a passenger on the ride.
Learning to use your power to empower your community is at the top of the list.
If you've ever seen people doing capoeira, you know how truly astonishing it is. It's a wild mix of acrobatics and athleticism woven into martial arts and dancing. Hadi D. Jamal went to the pros to learn the basics and benefits of this Brazilian art form.
Capoeira is an Afro-Brazilian art form that combines martial arts with dance. It dates back to the 16th century, developed by African slaves in Brazil who used it to bypass laws forbidding them from learning to fight. And you may recognize it from popular movies.
I think the main place people remember capoeira from is the movie Only the Strong.
The Only the Strong, yes.
Or 2004's Ocean's 12.
When that guy is doing backflips and moving around on the laser game,
Yeah.
that's capoeira.
It's a practice that's all about strength and agility. And we're getting a crash course on it with the help of Francisco Rocha, aka Maricinho, instructor at Capoeira Brazil, Arizona.
Don't get intimidated, but the hardcore moves. Capoeira is for everybody, it doesn't matter.
First, let's go over some of the game rules.
You're gonna have a big group of people We're all gonna make a big circle.
Players must stay within the circle, and the objective is to synchronize movements, simulating a fight without touching your opponent.
We don't injure our partner. We are moving targets, so that's why it makes it really hard for me to make contact. At the end of the day, you just don't want to get kicked.
Yeah.
You want to kick.
Yeah, kick, don't be kicked.
And aside from the moves, this game wouldn't come alive without music and song.
We always play capoeira with music, and on the front of the circle is gonna call the bateria. It's like the band, the music band.
It's made up of instruments that include a musical bow called the berimbau, a tambourine, and the atabaque, a tall wooden Afro-Brazilian hand drum. Music brings the energy to a game that can last hours.
So as long as the people outside are singing with the bateria, we're clapping with the bateria, we're producing that energy towards the people who are playing.
We're briefed on the game, so time to lay down some basic moves.
So the first thing you have to learn is how to esquiva. Esquiva means escape. So if you go into, we call this parallel position because you are on a parallel.
Lower the torso and move it side to side, reaching the hand overhead to dodge kicks.
The kick is coming this way, you're gonna go to the other side.
This starting parallel position will also set you up for a kick.
All the way past.
All the way past, bring it back to parallel.
And the way you connect these two moves is through Jenga, which means sway.
It's a move that goes one side to the other side, left to right, right to left. That Jenga move is the one that's going to give you the movement in capoeira. No matter what you do, you're always going to go back to Jenga.
And the rhythm is determined by the
The
drums.
rhythm is determined by the drum.
Ah, okay, makes sense.
Getting comfortable with these basic moves will earn you a belt.
Once you get your belt, the first knot that you get on your belt means that you can get introduced into the capoeira world. There you go.
All right.
And that's your breakdown of the movement and flow of capoeira.
Cinco de Mayo is a great time to celebrate the bounty of Mexican favorites. So we decided to incorporate some of those foods into 2023's trendiest way to please guests. So bring on the Mexican charcuterie boards.
The quickest way to turn a casual get-together into a feast? Put out a charcuterie board.
When I was a kid, I'd never heard of charcuterie or a charcuterie board.
Neither did I.
Why have they blown up?
It's easy to eat with friends, you know, and you get a little taste of everything.
And if you want that taste of everything to have some spice and bold flavors, Skylar Estes, chef and general manager at Recreo Cantina in Chandler, Arizona, is taking your board south of the border. Let's start with a taco board.
What have you given in terms of variety to make it a people pleaser?
We wanted to feature some like low and slow kind of meats. We did the birria tacos. It's a slow roasted beef. It's really rich.
Chef Estes likes to braise the beef in the broth in an oven for about 8 hours.
And it just makes everything really soft and tender. And
Melts in your mouth. What's this guy?
this is the chicken tinga. It's shredded chicken that's cooked in a stew of red tomatoes and chipotle.
Simmer the chicken in the stew along with garlic and onions for about 8 hours and top with cilantro.
And now, what do we have here?
Camarones, shrimp.
Is there any spicing directly on the shrimp?
A little bit of ancho chili powder, some cumin, some coriander.
All right, the heat on it's not overwhelming. You can still taste everything in this taco. It's beautiful.
Next, a burrito board.
What do we have on here?
Carne asada, we have shrimp, we have green chili pork. The other ones are quick cooked, quickly cooked, like the carne asada, you just grill real quick. Shrimp, you flash in a pan.
For the pork, he likes to take more time.
Low and slow, we cook this for about 8 hours in a green chili tomatillo poblano sauce.
For people at home, what ought they be looking to balance out in terms of the other ingredients inside that burrito?
If something has a lot of like acid to it, like with the carne asada, I want to bring on something a little bit creamier. I try to hit all taste buds.
Finally, mix and match with a simple quesadilla board.
What makes it fit the category is that tortilla, that cheese, and then everything else is kind of the variable.
For his board, he likes one to be just cheese, another to be beef, and then a veggie one.
This has almost like a hearty chip feel.
Whenever I go out and I get a quesadilla, usually it's kind of limp, so I make sure that they get it nice and crisp.
Put a dash of oil in a pan over medium heat, drop the tortilla in, and then don't touch it.
If people move it around too much and then it doesn't quite caramelize.
Oh yeah. I love the little bit of caramelization on this tortilla, and I gotta tell you, this will be a crowd pleaser for sure.
We're letting your taste buds go global with Mexican charcuterie boards. Still to come on the list, how to capture a memory and give it life.
I look at it as the punk rock version of scrapbooking.
Plus, uncover the secrets of Spider-Man.
This is Peter Parker's homemade costume.
And why Collective Soul is still going strong after 30 years.
It's going to be a busy year for us.
All that and more ahead on the list.
Welcome back. Now, if you're not familiar with the junk journaling craze, it's all about blending writing with mixed media art. Christina has taken a look at this growing pastime and how you can get started.
These handmade books are like no other. They're what's being deemed junk journals.
I look at it as the punk rock version of scrapbooking. You're adding things that you already have on hand, even if they don't match, but because it's meaningful to you, you incorporate in there so that it tells a story.
Life can get a little messy. That represents it.
Yes.
More and more people are getting creative with them, so we turn to artist Kathy Cano Murillo, aka the Crafty Chica, for a full breakdown to get you started.
Crafty Chica, is your brain always in crafting mode?
Yes,
it is. No matter what you do, I can see it.
Now, the origin of junk journals dates back to the early 2000s when they became an alternative to scrapbooking.
Because there were a lot of people who maybe wanted to go outside the pages or outside the lines and not be as perfect as scrapbooking.
People being a little rebellious.
Yes, exactly.
Crafting enthusiasts ditched expensive materials and instead used things like envelopes, maps, and old magazines that would otherwise get discarded.
They could use what they have and make that tell just as valuable and beautiful of a story as if you had bought items at the store.
Gathering materials should come easy, and what's inside them should be easy too.
So you can turn everything into an opportunity for your junk journal.
Build pages around a theme. We chose to focus on some of our favorite places.
And while you're gluing it down, you could start thinking like, why did I choose this cactus paper? And then maybe you say, okay, Phoenix.
Start building from there. Even incorporate a common feature of junk journals, pockets for keepsakes.
Like if you have like a little knickknack, what do I do with a dried up flower?
Yes.
You just throw that in there.
And remember, junk journals are about finding beauty in the imperfections.
When everything doesn't match, it all matches. Everybody's book is going to be completely different from each other because we're all different from each other. Our stories are so special and unique.
The possibilities are endless, and once you've completed a journal, their future purpose is also up to you.
I like to save them on my bookshelf, and every so often I will just open them and read them, and they make me so happy.
They could even become a one-of-a-kind handmade gift.
Could gift them like to a bride so she can collect pictures and mementos from her special day. So it's a good idea just to keep them, get into the moment, capture the moment, and then when you put it away and come back, it's a gift from your past self.
And that's your 101 guide on how to cherish sweet memories.
Enjoyed my day with Crafty Chica. Dink!
With the help of some junk journaling.
You know, the best thing about visiting an exhibit, you almost always learn something new. So whether you're into royals or superheroes, we have some of the most interesting exhibits across America. Coming in at number 1, Princess Diana, a tribute exhibition in Las Vegas, Nevada.
The beautiful thing about this collection is it's incredibly diverse.
Visitors will take a journey through the life and legacy of the famed royal with 12 themed rooms.
It's beautifully done. It takes you there, like the passion she had, the love she had for her children. It's incredible.
The exhibit offers memorable photos, personal items, a recreation of her memorial outside of Buckingham Palace, and more.
Over 700 original artifacts are in this exhibit relating to Diana, as well as a bunch of the royal family members.
To get your tickets, visit DianaLasVegas.com. At number 2, Spider-Man Beyond Amazing, the exhibition in Kansas City, Missouri. Visitors can trace Spider-Man's journey from comics to blockbuster films.
Getting to see how production has changed over the years is pretty humbling and mind-blowing.
Guests will dive into this experience by seeing costumes, props, and much more.
This is Peter Parker's homemade costume, kind of his original suit.
And this spot could make your spidey sense tingle because it's filled with interesting information.
Many people are familiar with the Marvel method of writing. Fun fact, this might be one of the only surviving copies of that method, written by Stan Lee.
Appropriately enough, considering it's Spider-Man, there's more info on the web. Visit beyondamazingexhibition.com. And last on our most interesting exhibits list is Titanic, the Artifact Exhibition in Orlando, Florida.
Looking for an attraction that will educate and inspire everyone in the family?
This family-friendly exhibit will take you back in time to 1912 and the journey of the Titanic.
They're trying to preserve every opportunity, every moment, every piece of history that they can.
Each visitor will assume the role of a passenger and even receive a boarding pass.
Connect with the passengers and crew as their stories are told through their personal items.
The exhibit features more than 300 artifacts, room recreations, and more.
You'll be captivated by real objects from Titanic, recovered directly from the ocean floor.
To learn more, visit TitanicOrlando.com. And those were a few exhibits sharing history across America. Lots more to come on the list, so stay right there.
Watch the list anytime.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Learn to play a new sport.
Here we go.
Try a new recipe.
That is like a warm hug. I love it.
Find money-saving tips.
So you're saving money while you're making money.
All on YouTube. Plus, you can watch The Guest List, our exclusive online-only series with extended cuts of the list's celebrity interviews. Go to youtube.com, search The List Show TV, and hit subscribe.
Welcome back. And on today's playlist, from the Dave Matthews Band to Metallica, there are a surprising number of musical groups that have been around for decades, and Collective Soul is right there in the thick of things. Zach Perry talked to bassist Will Turpin about their long journey and what lies ahead.
30 years is a long time, but for the band Collective Soul, those 3 decades have gone by in a flash. Their first album came out in 1993 and blew up the next year with their hit single, Shine, and they haven't slowed down since.
30 seems, woo. Oh, 25 was fun. I was like, yeah, 25 years. Now it's like, oh man, it's just been a great ride. It's been great to be able to create music for a living and be with your friends.
We caught up with the bassist Will Turpin to get an update on all things Collective Soul. And right now, that's a lot of things. First of all, they just embarked on a 50-show new tour.
We'll play some new stuff because we just like playing new stuff a lot. We're kind of known for that. Hopefully it makes them feel like they're in on what's next and where we're going with things. And we'll also try to get to all the bangers that everybody expects.
The band also just got done recording a new album, their 12th in studio. And Will says everyone in the band really felt the magic.
We did it again. I mean, we know when it feels right, and that record's going to be great. We've just got a vibe and a thing that just keeps happening. Every time we get in the studio, we still have those moments where we know something really special is coming out.
However, he admits they may have gotten some help from the great beyond. They recorded the record at the Palm Springs estate of the king himself, Elvis Presley, who used the estate when he recorded his famous Live in Las Vegas.
Why can't you see what you're doing to me?
I don't know about spirits or whatever, but the DNA is in the walls, man. I think there was definitely extra inspiration.
Be the one I pray for nightly. Be the one I've never seen before.
And there's more to come, including a new documentary as they celebrate the 30th anniversary of their first major record deal with Atlantic Records.
It's a retrospective of, the beginning, man, where it started, Stockbridge, Georgia. There'll be some eye-opening moments. Nobody really realizes what kind of a small-town story it is.
And they'll even head off on another tour.
I believe next year, I hope it's not true, but you might get tired of hearing Collective Soul's name. It's going to be a busy year for us.
We're still rocking out to Collective Soul after all these years on the playlist.
Still touring like crazy after all these years. That's amazing. Coming up, we're taking a look at a new study on how letting your dog or cat on the bed with you at night affects the quality of your sleep. Last on our list is next. Welcome back. It's time for what's last on our list, and if you watch our show at all, you know we're big fans of cats and dogs and pets in general. So that's why this study from the Cabby Digital Library was kind of alarming. The Association of Pet Ownership and Sleep Quality and Sleep Disorders in United States Adults. Now, my initial reaction was, hey, they needed a study to figure this out? I mean, come on, cats will walk on your face while you're asleep, and dogs, they do that little running motion when they're having nightmares, so yeah, that's gonna cut into your REM hours. And sure enough, sharing a bed with dogs was associated with having trouble sleeping, sleep disorders, sleep apnea, and feeling sleepy and unrested. Cat owners did fare a little better, with only one reported issue. Co-sleeping with cats was associated with greater odds of the human having leg jerks while asleep. And according to legend, also of having their souls breathed in by the cat while they're sleeping, which is way worse. I'm surprised that wasn't in the study. Now, what muddies the waters is that while co-sleeping with a pet, sure, that creates some interruptions, pets are also known to reduce stress and anxiety, which are big reasons people might have trouble sleeping in the first place. Now, the study doesn't make any recommendations, but I'll tell you, my pets have always been welcome to snuggle right up with me while I'm sleeping. I love it, especially on those cold nights. Folks, that's what's last on our list. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Tomorrow on the list, Jennifer Garner shares her thoughts on family and life.
Go easy on yourself and on your parents. Everybody's doing their best.
Plus, easy tips to get your bike ready for summer.
So what should be my final step before going out on that ride?
And fire up the perfect grill with help from a top chef.
If you want to do the showstopper, then you get that grill hot.
Tomorrow on the list.